Alright guys, we are back for demo game number 2 of a Yarok the Desecrated deck that we've built. Yarok the Desecrated copies triggered abilities when things enter the battlefield. If permanents cause those abilities to trigger, they trigger an additional time. We are going to try and shuffle up and showcase the deck one more time here. 1, 2, 3, that one back. Alright, our hand is unkeepable given that it is one land. So we would shuffle. We would use, our store does a 1 free mulligan in Commander instead of the Paris style strategy or London mulligan. We just really haven't changed with any of those. Maybe we should, I don't know. We always felt that was it the Paris mulligan or the French mulligan, the one where you get to choose X cards and then you draw X minus 1. We always felt that was very favorable to combo players, and just felt that we would rather people not be able to sculpt hands quite like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I mean, I will keep this hand. It is all lands and a ghostly flicker, but we do have a tutor and we have a misty rainforest. I'm going to start things off. Okay, more land, sure. That sounds correct. I'm just going to start land thinning, obviously. I do want a Temple of Malady next turn, but I know that most of the deck's casting costs are actually on 3 and not 2, so I'm gonna just thin the deck out a tiny bit and start getting. So I'm gonna get a Zagoth Triome. That's the best named land that one can get if you do not need the mana right away. There it is, because it is all 3. And that's pretty handy. It's going to be another land, I'm sure of it. See, I was talking in the first video about how we have so much land in the deck so that we don't miss our land drops, but I think bam, oh, Palinchron. I mean, that's wonderful, except it's not wonderful at all because that is a 7-mana spell. So we still can't do a darn thing with it. So at this point we Temple of Malady so that we scry here. Heroic Intervention. Now this is a card that technically is castable, but it's a reactive card, and you need to have things worth protecting. We have nothing worth protecting, so it goes to the bottom. So naturally, next turn we're going to draw. Oh, not a land. We lucked out. Alright, at this point we've done really nothing impressive this game. I'm sure other people are kicking our butt. We will Flooded Strand here. Probably go for a breeding pool. The deck is most heavily green and blue. The black is in there for some support style cards, the tutors. Do I have breeding pool in my hand? Is that the problem? Yep, I do. Alright, so instead of that, we're going to grab, I guess, yeah, I guess I could grab a tropical island, although I didn't even look. That's probably in my hand too. No, it is right there, I suppose. There, now we can represent having something to do on 3. Like, ho, look out. What are we going to do? Although I suppose they now know we definitely don't have a cultivate. Because, let's be real, who wouldn't cultivate in this exact situation? I'm bad at shuffling. Alright. Turn 4. Here we go. Oh. Demonic Tutor. Very good card. Not something we're going to do right now, because right now we're going to cast Guardian Project. Is that what we're going to do? Guardian Project, so we start drawing cards? Sure, let's say yes. Guardian Project, because next turn we're casting Yarok. We did this the slow way. The real natural. Ooh, Emergent Ultimatum. This is just one of those if you cast it, you win type cards. So, alright, at this point, we would cast Yarok the Desecrated. We would hope he wouldn't get killed. He might. I mean, that could happen. We get 2 triggers off of Guardian Project, land, and a Venser. Venser is a wonderfully powerful spell that does go infinite, and so I will show that off a little bit. Let's be real. Let's say that he gets destroyed because people. I mean, it's turn 5. We haven't really done anything. We have nothing to prevent people from doing anything against us. So let's say he dies. More land. Everybody needs land. You know. Land is so important. He said jokingly, not needing more land. So this is one of those sit-back turns. This is where we cast Demonic Tutor. We prepare for a spicy turn. We wouldn't have to show what we're getting at this point. So at this point, I think, you know, at this point the game has sort of hit that can't win fast. Now just have to make sure we don't lose. And we need a little more protection the next time we go in, kind of a deal. So we're going to get a Fierce Guardianship. Because everything really centers around Yarok being out, so this will be best. You know, if somebody else is going to combo out, we have that to try and stop them. We do have Venser in hand. So, alright. Let's say odds, well no, let's just say that, I mean, something like this happens and we need, you know, somebody wins, tries to win. At this point, we stop them because we don't want to lose. So that goes back to their hand and we get to draw a card. More land, you know, because that's what you need is more land. Shared Summons, cool card. See, now I was dumb. I was really dumb because we shouldn't have got Fierce Guardianship. We almost certainly should have got Force of Will instead, because at this point we could just, you know, we could just attempt this. You know, we cast Emergent Ultimatum. We go and find 3 different cards, monocolored cards. They have to be monocolored. Here, we'll find that. Let's find Deadeye Navigator. You know, nobody wants that. And then I think we find probably something like Woodland Behemoth. So they can't let us have these, so they just decide which, you know, and actually, I don't even know if we can get Woodland Behemoth, honestly, because what we need to happen is we need to be able to untap Yeah, so this is a tough one because at this point we're kind of stuck. You know, the Palinchron is in our hand, which means it isn't available. You know, so the weird thing is like this would normally be what you get because then they automatically are going to get rid of one of these. But you may want to just spread yourself out across something like that, so they don't know what not to pick. They probably, at this point, I mean, we don't have any doubling situation. We're going to get draws off of this no matter what. This is worth 2 draws, and it leads us into one more creature. I would say that they would probably get rid of Woodland Behemoth. I guess that's what I would do if I were playing against this deck at that point, because they're already going to get either 2 lands and 5 lands. Obviously, you'd pick Peregrine before Cloud of Fairies, but I think I would leave them with this. So we get all of our lands untapped essentially. These 2 come down. We get 2 draws. 1. Summer Bloom. Oh boy. Guys, let me tell you about how good things just got. They got good. Because you know, I would say, like, at this point we have to pretend that we're afraid to cast this card. Because maybe they've got, you know, the ability to interfere or interact with it. So at this point, Ghostly Flickering, these 2. Honestly, at this point, if somebody would counter that, I would risk doing that. And so we can, you know, let's pretend that something like that happens. These come down. We actually net a mana. Let's say that we net a, I don't know, we net a green. And then we draw 2 more cards. 1, 2. Okay. Just because this is the fun part of the deck that I want to show off. This is okay, so this will be able to create something that comes into play tapped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't even remember, have we played a land this turn? I don't think so. I think I backed off and said I wasn't going to. 6, 7. We had that one floating from before. Man, are we 1 shy? Oh, okay. So here we go. 7 for Yarok. He double triggers, draws us a couple cards. Oh, a Dark Ritual. Hot dang. Alright. Green. And let's see here. Crack this. Let's do that. So we put in our black. Okay. Alright. So now we've got 1 green and 3 black in the pool. We're going to spend one of the black to do that. Are we? Here, let's make sure we do. Okay, so we've got 2 black in the pool. We can now play 3 additional lands. 2 black in the pool. One black in the pool. 1 additional land. 2 additional lands. Tap out. Cast an Elvish Rejuvenator. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So these are going to go into play tapped. One of these is going to go into play tapped, so we're going to do that. Now that nets us an Amulet trigger. So this untaps once. Let's add a green. Boom. Let's add another green. And then another trigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what we were hoping for. That comes in. So now we've got 2 green, boom. Up to 4 mana, up to 6 mana. We have to return 2 lands to our hands. So we're going to do these 2. Now we're up to 6 mana. And we get double Guardian trigger. 1, 2. And there's infinite there's infinite right there. I mean, not that we didn't have it with Palinchron earlier, but we played it in a way that was safer and we were protected as we did it. So that is the complexity that is this deck, that it spills into things like Amulet of Vigor and has free protection spells, the triggered abilities. It's a really fun, really complicated deck to play. It's maybe a little too bad that it's built in such a way that it goes straight from, you watched it go from nothing basically on its turn to winning, and so there's very little interaction in the deck. It just kind of like it falls into its wins. So I suppose it's a little bit like Maelstrom Wanderer in that regard. So at any rate, guys, that is a version of Yarok. Thanks for watching.